There, we'll note it this way. Item number 2, approval of 2023 tax levy bill number 7803, ordinance number 9600. And this item does include a public hearing. So we'll begin by opening the public hearing now. We will now have a staff report, and then we will welcome the public to come speak at the podium after staff report.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Nick Hawkins, Finance Manager. So tonight is the annual setting.
Did I need a motion to open the public hearing or just a motion to close? It's okay. I've opened it, and the motion will be to close. I couldn't remember. Sorry. I want to make sure we're good on procedure. There we go. Thank you.
I'm about a year out of practice on this too. So tonight is the annual setting of the tax levy. We received valuations from the county on September 12th, and there's a memo in here that goes through the process that we go through, but we had a 17% increase in valuations. This is an assessment year. They do it every other year. We had a 17% increase in valuations from the prior assessment, and because of the Hancock Amendment, we are limited to 5% maximum CPI growth. So since we exceeded that, the levy does need to roll back, and so there's about a 9.3% decrease in the levy that's presented tonight. From a budget perspective, we are anticipating just a little bit over 7% growth. That is because of new construction and increases in personal property that are counted outside of the CPI adjustment that the state does. So we've submitted this form to the state. They came back, gave us our levy. We noticed it in the paper per state law a week ago. And so tonight we would present the 2023 tax levy. Again, it's a 9.3% drop. The city, at least this year, accounted for about 13% of the total tax bill for a resident in North Kansas City. The school district is the largest, and then the state county also have levies of various natures in there as well. Happy to answer any questions.
All right, Councilmember Smith.
Thanks, Nick. So I'm still trying to fully understand. So the 17.87 total increase, so from 360 million to 424 million, does that include the newly added personal and real estate?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And so personal property was actually the largest growth. New construction from a real estate standpoint was only about 219,000. Personal property, including the railroads, are calculated on this as well. That was the largest new construction growth.
Okay. So to a lot of people, the largest jump is going to be the value of their home, which is it's up 20% across real estate. And by, I don't know, not even a representative sample, I spoke to around town, I've had even much larger increases than that. I'm not clear how Hancock handles normalizing that, because if property tax goes up, or property value and assessments go up 20%, and we drop the levy by 9.3, they're still seeing in real percentages like an 11% increase in the tax bill. Am I understanding that correctly?
So it can vary. So from the Hancock perspective, they look at the cumulative. So
Right.
They're not looking at individual. They're looking at from a political subdivision standpoint. So personal property is, I think, a little weird. I know they've had some legislation that's kind of come through, but it's not been passed yet, that would try and treat that more like the real estate portion, because the real estate is called out as, we can very easily tell what's new construction. On the personal
Right.
property side, it could be increase in valuation on your car, or it could be you got a new car that's worth more, and so they don't necessarily treat those things differently. But yes, I mean, it's possible that for some they might pay higher than the 7%, and some might, some tax bills would be lower than that.
I gotcha. I mean, it's not, I think we're at the point where we're going to approve this most likely. I just hear from residents, like they saw they've seen like the last 3 assessments have just jumped and jumped and jumped. Personally, I've seen it really hard. And then you hear about the Hancock Amendment, it's supposed to normalize things so you don't get really gouged, but people are getting really gouged. And as interest in Northtown continues to grow, people's properties are going to continue to get more valuable, and that's good on the surface for a net worth situation. But when people are feeling taxes and their net worth is up, but that's all locked in real estate, and they're actually having to shell out more for their tax bill, that's tough. And I don't know that there's anything we can do about that because the levies are set elsewhere, and it's I understand it's tough if you start pulling backwards to actually, if we need more revenue to go out that way. But is there anything in our toolkit to help our residents who are seeing these very large increases?
I'm going to jump in real quick. In our toolkit, probably one of the things we're up against also that I don't know if any of you have heard about is Senate Bill 190, where they're looking at capping, basically setting a cap on property taxes or a lid, so to speak, for seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Now it hasn't been passed; they're working on it. That is going to be something that comes and helps.
Yeah, which is that's an odd one to me.
Yeah.
I understand the intent, but very weird.
Something, yeah, that's something the county's working on, gathering the data to get out to us how it would affect us, but that's another limitation. I mean, answer is yes. There's always ways to lower. Mm-hmm. But as Nick said earlier, I mean, this is a tough one. The state recognized 6.5% inflation over the last year, but we're limited to 5% in growth, which means they're saying it's costing us 6.5% more on average to provide our services, but we're still limited to 5%. I understand what you're saying, though, as well. That
it's just hitting people in a very acute way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand all the intricacies of how the personal property, real property, all that flows. But seeing, it's nice to see that the levy is rolling back 9.3%, but values are up 20%. And I know that's a trend that will likely continue. I can't, I don't have a crystal ball, but that's going to keep going almost certainly in Northtown. And people are feeling like they're going to get pinched and priced out based on taxes. And I don't want to see that, but we can't just start giving up revenue that the city needs to operate. So I don't know what the answer is. It's something I want to be, keeping an eye on as we move forward.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, so everyone's aware, what does it say, we're 13% of what someone's total tax bill even is.
Right.
I mean, for example, my house last year, with the old appraisal, I paid $276.70 to the city on property tax. And with this new rate, I'd go up to $301.52, which again is for the year. So you really, I think, around here, still a pretty good bargain on the services you get for the amount that we are paying.
When you addressed one of the questions that I've been asked, and that is, while Hancock basically tries to have revenue neutrality through this process, there is a cost of CPI index that does go up, but that's essentially to make our buying power for the city neutral. And so there is that increase due to inflation. And that's, again, mandated through the state. And some people have troubles. They think we're raising the taxes, and we're really not. We're trying to give the city the same buying power pretty much as it had before. So it is, in that sense, revenue neutral.
Who sets the school? Because the school is the biggest portion, right?
board.
Yeah, school board sets that amount. Is that handed down similarly from the county, and they bless it?
We have, basically all taxing jurisdictions do the same program. So everyone's having basically the same meeting this week all across the state.
Okay. I will go for a first reading.
Hang tight.
Nope,
hang
I'm sorry.
tight.
We got to do it. Scratch
The
that.
process master over there.
Okay.
All right.
Public comment.
Now, We will open this up for public comments related to this item. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak this evening on the 2023 tax levy? No. Seeing none. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Now,
Now we discuss.
we'll go through the normal, now, yikes. That's fine. Motion and second and vote. Let's get back to regular process here.
Okay,
Is there a
first,
motion for first reading?
first reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance fixing the rate of taxation for general municipal purposes and for special purposes and setting the tax levy on taxable property within the limits of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri for the year 2023.
I move that bill number 7803 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9600.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez,
Yes.
Councilmember Stokes,
Yes.
Councilmember Todd,
Yes.
Councilmember Saper,
Yes,
Councilmember Schneider,
Yes.
An ordinance fixing the rate of taxation for general municipal purposes and for special purposes and setting the tax levy on taxable property within the limits of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri for the year 2023.
Thank you. Item number 3, feasibility, opportunity, and risk assessment professional services contract, resolution number 23072. As it describes in the packet, this is for a contract for services with Baker Tilly to provide financial advising related to the ongoing conversations about the Royals and Ballpark District. Any questions? Councilmember Saper.
I think people need to know that this is an if and only if, and when and only when, some kind of decision favoring the North Kansas City site becomes known. Until then, this is sitting there as just sitting there. And it's not something we are actively pursuing at this time, in the sense that they're hired and on the job. They're not. They will be so only if and only if, and when and only when, the decision favoring North Kansas City is made. And of course, Clay County would have to agree to pursue it as well.
I would just, a couple bullet points. So again, if I didn't already say, it's an on-call contract, as you were kind of alluding to there, up to a maximum of $25,000, which is in the contract now. But that is basically an on-call pay per hour. So if we need them, we have them available to help evaluate and explore the various financial scenarios. And really, it's just part of a due diligence process. Further questions? Councilmember Saper.
Mr. Barzee, you look consternated. Do you have something more to add? Oh, no. Okay, your face.
I was thinking of another matter, in fact, Mr.
Okay.
I don't want to know what that one was then.
But it has nothing to do with this. Sorry, sir.
Yikes. All right, further councilmember comments?
Move to
Seeing-
approve?
Oh, that was,
Second.
never mind, she was adjusting. No, sorry. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. With that,
Gosh, there's not an item for adjournment.
there's not adjournment either.
We can't
Is there a motion to adjourn?
move to adjourn.
Second. Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, say no. We are adjourned.